Michigan, the Sea-Doo Pro Wakeboard Series and the East Pack Motor City Challenge. Doug Dunbar, Tony Finn, and Dave Reinhardt on the water. 25 seconds on the clock for pass number 1.
A little bit surprising for me to see Dave Reinhardt here in the finals. He's a famous freestyle skier and a famous barefooter, but he's been practicing wakeboarding. Almost goes down there. Serious butt check on that crib, but he holds on to it. There's a half cab roll where he started in the fakie position and landed forwards. And there's an air railie. Not bad. First pass for Dave Reinhardt.
The air railie wraps it up after 25 seconds. And Tony, we're seeing the tricks, we're seeing the concise movement through the air, but not a lot of style.
Exactly. Dave Reinhardt does not have the kind of wakeboarding style that we'd like to see. He doesn't connect his tricks that well. It's a trick and then a setup and then a trick and then a setup. And the judges like to see more fluidity and more style in your passes. And watch right here. He almost goes down, totally loses his edge, but he goes down on his butt and he utilizes his on-the-water experience to hold on to that pass.
9,305. You add up the raw trick points and add that to the style value. That will complete pass number 1. He'll do it again, but at the end of this pass, the optional wild card trick, and that goes to style only.
Here's Dave on his switch stance grip. He started fakie and landed that air railie forward. There's a roll to revert. He's only got one more trick left. 3 seconds left. He's going to get it in time. Whoa, that's a very weak-looking air railie.
That's about the only emotion we've seen out of Dave Reinhardt, the little arm pump.
He does get a lot of air, and his aerial awareness is incredible because of his experience as a freestyle skier and as a barefooter. But look at all the time he waits in between tricks and his lack of style. I mean, I don't want to slam the guy too hard. He's an unbelievable athlete, but that switch stance air railie is not proper form. You need to keep the board straight up behind you, not at an angle like that.
More trick points in the second pass. That'll total 18,618. And well, the 3 top competitors, Dean Lavelle, Parks Bonifay, and Jeremy Kovac, yet to come. Shannon Best on the water now out of Pompano Beach, Florida. A tall young man, nearly 6 feet, but slight at weight at 155 pounds. How does that help through the air?
His light weight really allows him to get more air easier than somebody who would be heavier. And the fact that he's tall allows him to stretch it more for bigger tricks. There is a scarecrow. Here's an air fakie roll to front. He's coming up on his big trick here. It's the air Mobius. Very clean. Nice air move for Shannon Best.
That is a big trick at the end of what turns out to be a pretty good pass.
Really good for Shannon. There's his air fakie roll to front. Turns the board back to the backwards position. This is a switch stance air Mobius. Nice extension, really good handle pass. The handle pass is the most important part of the Mobius, and that's where most people lose it, and Shannon nailed his.
9,710 points. Remember, Dave Reinhardt, our leader right now, just under 19,000 points for him. Best will go at it again. 20 seconds on the clock.
Here comes a switch stance front flip. Took off fakie and landed fakie. Right now, Shannon Best signature trick. The S-bend. He nails it. An air railie into what happened?
Now he just loses the handle. The question is, was he riding in skiing position long enough to get credit for that S-bend?
Right after the S-bend, he just lets go of the handle. Very disappointing. Shannon goes big on it. It's a railie with the helicopter. And
I would tend to think that they're going to give him credit because he was actually turning the board to move on to another trick after he landed. Shannon Best does get credit for that 4th trick, the S-bend, but he doesn't get his 5th and final one in. That means he stands at 17,968. Beach, Florida, kind of a middle-of-the-pack rider, still waiting to break out here on the tour.
I think Andy Lazarus has huge potential. He goes as big as anybody, as you can see right there on that railie, and he used to train with Darren Shapiro. So he's got good coaches, and he's going big.
Coming up on 10 seconds on the FSL clock, this will be the first of 2 passes.
Andy Lazarus coming in backside here, hillside for a tantrum. Lays it out nicely.
Right at the final gun, the final trick. He'll likely get that in time, and judges will score it all. We'll add it up for you in just a second.
Now it's a front side front flip right at the end there. That's a high point scoring trick.
A lot of air, look at that.
A lot of air in his half cab roll. And he gets a good edge right here coming back in for his tantrum. good carve. Look at how his body is leaning way back. Lays it out nice.
No question on the trick points. The style will be added to those. We'll come up with a total of 9,850 for pass number 1. The second pass now. Andy Lazarus, you see the big air once again.
Andy started out backwards and landed forwards for that switch stance grip. Taking a lot of time right there to set up for his air half cab roll. Only 10 seconds left. 2 more tricks to go.
A total of 19,000 would definitely grab him the lead from Dave Reinhardt.
Air front flip, a front flip without a wake. His big trick, right as time's running out. A switch stance Mobius, he nails it. Right as time is running out. Andy Lazarus goes for it. That's the best I've ever seen him ride on tour. Great second pass. He pulls it out right as time was running out. That's incredible. Watch here as he turns the board to fakie. Coming in for his Mobius, but it's a switch stance Mobius. He starts fakie, lands fakie, almost goes down, but he holds on to it.
Heard asking some of the coordinators here in the tour this weekend where he stands as far as the overall. Kind of a note of concern for him, maybe a little pressure.
Well, I think Parks has got it sewn up. He is feeling a little bit of pressure. I mean, not pressure, but since his victory at the X Games, I mean, every single magazine in the world, oh my, as he does his S-bend, has been wanting to talk to him. And so the guy's just getting a lot of media attention. And, oh, he goes down on a switch stance grip.
Bonifay might be feeling the pressure now. He got 4 tricks in if he, in fact, gets credit for that last trip.
Parks has done this trick probably over 1,000 times. I don't know why he falls on it today. The water's not bad. Looks like he just bobbles a little bit, and the heel side edge of his board grabbed the water, and he goes down. But normally, he would be able to ride away from a trick like that.
At 14 years old, you know he will have plenty of opportunity to come back. 62.87 the sum total for pass number 1. He would need one absolute whale of a run to even come close to grabbing the lead from Andy Lazarus.
Well, let's see how gritty Parks is. Starts off with the switch stance railing. He looks very, very determined out there. Good front side carve for a switch stance scarecrow.
While it's almost mathematically impossible he can come back for the lead, this would be a great confidence builder if he can stand this pass up.
Here's a trick right here he perfected. It's the whirly bird.
And you can see he's just not even emotionally into it anymore.
A little bit shaky on that whirly bird landing. And then ends his pass with a switch tantrum to front. And let's watch his second pass. You know, I still think, I mean, obviously Parks is the best wakeboarder in the world right now. Look at that whirly bird. He lays out the backflip and does a Mobius while he's in the air without a handle pass.
Take the tricks and the style points from the second pass. Easy math will tell you. Add that 10,060 to pass number 1, and a disappointing finish for Parks Bonifay here in Detroit. Andy Lazarus still your lead. Bonifay oh so close in Indianapolis last time we talked to you. Canadian Jeremy Kovac.
Jeremy said he's feeling a little bit sick today, but even when he's sick, he has so much consistency that he can still go big. Look how huge he's going. A fakie roll to front. His Mobius for his third trick. He pulled out the Mobius early in his pass and lands it so clean. Then the air Mobius. If he's sick now, I'd like to see him when he's healthy. A front flip. Jeremy Kovac goes huge. A little bit mellow, but huge in his first pass.
Every trick in time for pass number 1.
Jeremy's style is so much different than some of the other riders. He's a great slalom skier and a jumper. Look how straight he stands. Not crouched like some of our other riders like Shannon Best and Andy Lazarus. Gets a good carve into the wake for that front side front flip. Very, very smooth rotation and super clean landing.
10,405 points, the trick and style added together. He's got another pass. Remember, our current leader, Andy Lazarus, is just under 20,000 points. So a 20,000 point run by Jeremy Kovac, who was perfectly capable of that kind of run, would snag that lead.
He's got 12 seconds left on that FSL clock. Taking a lot of transitional tricks. An air front flip. Turning the board fakie. Right as time runs out, he does the switch stance Mobius. 2 Mobiuses in his first pass, and an additional Mobius, a switch stance Mobius, for his last trick in his second pass. And Jeremy Kovac, extremely consistent as of late. First in Indy, and now in Detroit. turns the board to fakie right there, has the handle close and tight in on his hip, keeps the handle in tight for that Mobius. Nice handle pass, clean rotation for Jeremy.
And Byron Tony, the man who could play spoiler for Jeremy Kovac.
Dean Lavelle has 50 seconds to overtake Jeremy, 2 25-second passes. Dean going big today, an air front flip for his third trick. Coming into the wake heel side for a half cab front flip. He took off, fakie, did a flip, and landed forward, and there's the S-bend. That is a high point scoring run for Dean Lavelle. Huge air on that half cab front flip. Very rarely do you see that trick in a contest. And now here comes his S-bend. Contrast Dean's S-bend with Shannon's. Dean gets good extension and does a complete helicopter while the board is totally over his head in an air railing position. Unreal.
10,525 points. He needs another stand-up pass, and he could very well surpass Jeremy Kovac, who sits just under 20,500 in first place.
Front flip for Dean Lavelle.
Boy, he's looking good so far.
Coming into the wake fakie here. A switch stance S-bend. Oh my, an air half cab roll. He's got one more trick left. A front flip to fakie. Dean Lavelle going off.
Lavelle riding for the championship here in Detroit, Michigan. Will the judges give it to him in style?
Going behind a Sea-Doo or a Mastercraft, the winds are whipping around here. It's going to be very rough on the wakeboarders. But the good thing about wakeboarding is you can do it in any conditions. So I'm expecting to see some hot performances from these top pro wakeboarders today.